Konnichiwa, and welcome back to this week's video. Doing something a little bit different once again, trying everything and anything at least once to see how I can do or how it works out. As you can probably tell by the title of this video, I'm going to basically ramble on for about 5 to 10 minutes trying to convey some confusions and complications I'm having with the current, well, not the current gen, but the new generation of consoles. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the optimized for Xbox Series X. I don't know if anyone else is having confusion with this topic, and I understand what Xbox is trying to say, but to me, especially when you look up the word optimized, which I did, it's here, it just confuses me, because optimized basically means that when it comes to computer or a console, that the console or computer has been made to play or run a piece of software the best. And yet Xbox keeps stating quite regularly, as is with a lot of the box art that has been out recently, that a lot of the games are going to be optimized for Series X. To me, that seems wrong, considering all of the games, especially ones that have the box art, are all third party, and the third party developers are making these games for every platform. So, kind of getting a bit lost on what Xbox is trying to say. If the console is going to play these games the best, then clearly that's the console, not the game. Let me know if anyone else agrees, or if anyone else is able to explain it a little bit clearer. But in my opinion, I feel Xbox has done some bad phrasing on their part for that bit. The other things I've got, which boil down to a few other points, is the resolution and frame rate issues with the new gen. My Twitter every couple of days just explodes with untold fanboys or console war people you cannot believe, and all they currently moan about is frame rate and resolution. I don't currently have a 4K TV, and I only have a base PlayStation 4, but I have played a little bit of The Last of Us 2, and I have Ghosts of Tsushima, which again I've had on my console, my current setup. It looks beautiful. I don't see any issues, and I know there is a reason for that, because I haven't played on a 4K TV, and I probably will notice a difference when I finally get onto one. But if I am unable to see a difference now, I am able to see these games as beautiful works of art and amazing games on the current generation. How is that going to... It can only be better, in theory, when I get a new console. There is no way on earth that I'm not going to see a difference just by upgrading to a new console. So that whole frame rate issue and resolution thing, and I know that it was brought up recently because of the Halo Infinite stuff, which I have other reservations for that game. Primarily the story. I want that story to be good. Yes, okay, it doesn't quite look great. Sorry about that. As I was saying, the story. I have story reservations when it comes to Halo Infinite. Primarily because I loved Halo 1, 2 and 3. Loved Reach. Couldn't get on with ODST. Did not get on well with Halo 4, and I didn't even touch 5. So, yes, I know I've read the bio, I understand it, so on and so forth, but I know that's a whole nother section. I'll deal with that another date, but everyone online who's just shouting frame rate and resolution and all this and all that and so on and so forth. One of the ones I remember seeing was that Far Cry 6 will play at 4K on the Xbox Series 1, no, the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One. And then a Ubisoft support thing came out on Twitter and said it's only Xbox, not PlayStation 4 or 5. And I'm like, that seems odd. Why? And it's come out even recently, like over the last 2 days, they are going to support 4K. The PlayStation 5 will get, and 4 will get 4K and high resolutions and frame rate and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, so it's all pointless. I don't understand it. It's just really confusing. The other things that are confusing me are Xbox's smart delivery. I understand how it works. I understand what the idea is. I understand what the process is. What I don't understand is why they are making such a need, or a blatant need, to keep going on about it with every game, with this, that, the other. And then certain developers, like Take-Two, with their NBA series, came out and did something which got a lot of people riled, and Xbox had to respond to. PlayStation hasn't said anything, and yet all the individual game developers keep coming out and saying, you'll get a free upgrade, you'll get a free update, you'll do this, that, the other. It's basically, okay, yeah, it's going to run better. We're going to put all these extra bits and pieces on it to make it work on the new console. And I'm like, okay, so why does Xbox have smart delivery? Just another one of those things I don't know, I don't understand. It's confusing me quite a bit. I'm not a PlayStation fanboy, though the evidence is contrary, because I do have a lot of PlayStation stuff. I do have a Halo tattoo and a Gears tattoo. I do like Xbox. I do like Xbox stuff. But this year, I feel that I have been completely cut off from them because it makes no sense. To me, what they've got planned, what they are doing, makes no sense at all. And I mean, the only other thing I've got that I wanted to talk about, or I wanted to mention, was Game Pass. I don't have Game Pass. I understand Game Pass is for great value, but there are 2 points for this I would like to bring up. One is my own point, which is a gaming streaming service, which basically is what Game Pass is, same as PlayStation Now. At some point or another, must have so much stuff on there, so much content, that you will spend hours flicking through, looking for something, and not find it. And I know there are going to be people that will be like, well, you just click something and play it. You don't do that with Netflix. Or you might do something with Netflix, not, it might not click, so you jump onto the next thing, and you just constantly keep looking. And it's going to continue on and on and on, just like that. And I worry that that is one thing. I worry that that's something that Xbox Game Pass is going to have in the future when they have an abundance of games. The other thing is something that someone I follow on Twitter. I have blanked out their name and picture and other stuff like that, but they had a very good point, in my opinion, and they called it the Netflix problem. Different one to what I was thinking, but it's still relevant. And that is that certain, especially recently, Xbox has stated that a lot of the games they've revealed at their showcase will be available on Game Pass, which means those developers aren't going to see really any revenue from their game from Xbox, because Xbox is going to get it all. So the person I followed, and I have put their tweet in, just so you can have an understanding of slightly of what I'm on about, was that Xbox would have to pay them a stupid amount of money just to get their game onto Game Pass straight away from day one, from game's launch. But then there are certain developers who have already said no. The two that this person mentions further on in their thread is CD Projekt Red and Remedy. Or is it Remedy? Who did Control? Basically, Control came out when one of the Xbox heads came out and said Control will be available on Game Pass, and they went nope. And CD Projekt Red said it won't be because no one will buy it. They will all jump on for the £15 or dollar or however much it is for Game Pass and play it for nothing, technically. And I'm left going, it just leaves me wondering. And I'm like, going back to my problem with Netflix having so much available, so much to think. Every so often they'll advertise something and you'll be like, oh yeah, cool, that's great, let's watch that. That's on Netflix. Don't have to pay anything, don't have to do anything. But does it stop me or many people? It doesn't stop me from going out and spending 10, 15 pounds on a brand new film that's only just been released on DVD or Blu-ray. It's again another one of those really confusing things. Can't get my head around it. It is driving me nuts. And each day with bits of information, bits of news, this, that, the other, I can't keep my head straight with it all. One other thing I will say, and there's a little bit of criticism, and I can't. It's probably one of the other things that put me off royally from Xbox, especially over the past couple of years, but it's put me off even more this year, is their showcase. I watched their showcase. I'm not picking holes in any of their games. As I said, I was looking forward to Halo. It hasn't hit right at the moment. Was never a big Fable fan. Some of their other stuff, Grounded, I like the look of Grounded, but I'm not entirely sure if that's a console exclusive or whether that's an Xbox exclusive. I don't know, which is a thing that I know PlayStation, in their showcase, they came up with their PlayStation Studio thing, but they weren't constantly going, world premiere, which after about 4 times gets very droll, gets very annoying. Same for the console launch exclusive. Yes, okay, it's nice to be clear, it's nice to be thinking. PlayStation didn't do that, and yet when third-party games came up, everyone kind of knew that they were third-party games. Hitman, for instance. Deathloop and that, people, not everyone, I know that, but certain games, they understood that was a third-party game. It's from Bethesda. It's on PlayStation. Must still be third-party. Okay. It's only when you go digging you find out, oh, it's actually a timed exclusive. Okay. Wow. Xbox didn't, in my opinion, and I'm still finding it hard to get the information now, didn't really convey that very well when every 5 minutes they were putting console launch exclusive or world premiere up in the screen, and it drove me a little bit nuts. Other than that, that is, as far as I'm aware, that's all I had to talk about. That's all that I had on my mind. That was all that was bugging me. Apart from the other thing, I don't like. As I said, I don't understand the optimized for Xbox thing. I don't like the fact that they keep plastering it all over the game cases. It's not needed. Put it on the back, Xbox. Put it on the back. Done and dusted. Um, but anyway, I have been Samurai. Thank you for anyone who has watched. You can follow me on Twitter, add me on PSN, so on and so forth. Or you can click the little samurai down in the corner to subscribe on YouTube. So until next time, I have been Samurai. Thank you and sayonara.